Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is Across the Cavs. If you're watching this, the Cleveland Cavaliers 2023-2024 season has just reached its conclusion, and we are now gone fishing. They're off to Cancun. No. The Cleveland Cavaliers in 2024 have put together a magic season. Now, it's over now. It's done. The Cavs won't play again until October. We're going to watch the Summer League in a couple of months. We're going to watch the draft in June. But for the regular season, the hopes of winning a title, not that there really ever were any real title hopes, have reached their conclusion. And I start this by saying thank you to everybody that's watched live, that's listened after the fact, that's engaged with me online, that's messaged me, that's commented anything, given feedback, whatever it's been. Because as I've stated countless times, this podcast, this Across the Cavs thing, is one of my favorite parts of my day, of my week. One of my favorite hobbies in my life, truthfully, has become the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you ask anyone around me, anyone I see, anyone I play basketball with, anyone I talk to on a regular basis, it does not matter if that person is a sports fan. They will tell you, this guy lives for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He loves his Cleveland Cavaliers. So as I dive into the season recap and we look back at this Celtics series and all the injuries and the highs and the lows, I just say thank you for being a part of this. You know, this show is 5 years old now. It's going to be in season 6 next year. And it's been an absolute joy to talk to Mark Price and the Cavs announcers and all these other players and to go to Cleveland and meet with so many different people. It's been incredible. Truly incredible. And this season specifically has been very memorable for me personally. You know, we're not here, though, to talk about Zach Weiss. We're not here to talk about what this show means to him. Let's talk about the season, because the Cavaliers, 49 games in the regular season, and they won another 5 in the playoffs, and now they're done. They're finished. They're going to be at home. And what we learned over the course of the year, we learned a lot. We learned that the playoffs and the regular season are not the same. We knew it, but now we really know it. Because guys like Georges Niang and Sam Merrill, who were very trustworthy over the course of a long regular season, had moments in the playoffs of disappearing. You know, Evan Mobley, at times in the regular season, could turn it on, and we finally learned in the second round of the playoffs on offense, Evan Mobley can really turn it on. We didn't really know that in the playoffs. He didn't have a 20-point game against the Knicks. This time, I think he fought a lot harder offensively. We learned a lot, unfortunately, about Darius Kennard-Garland, who was an all-star 2 years ago. Clearly not the same player. And in 2 games without Donovan Mitchell, he went from 30 points and 7 assists, to 11 points on 4 of 17. He had 9 assists, 9 helpers. Too many turnovers for Darius. We learned that he cannot be a number one option at any real point in a must-have game where you can actually pull it off. We learned that the lights were not too bright for the Cavs. We didn't know that because last year Jarrett Allen said the lights were too bright. Well, unfortunately, we missed him because he has been out since early in the first round. The problem with that is Jarrett Allen played 77 straight regular season games to end the year. They didn't do anything without Jarrett Allen in the lineup this year. Jarrett Allen was present for everything. He was just around, and he was there. And when he disappeared, you couldn't really replace that. Finally, we learned that Marcus Morris can do what the Cavs got him here to do. 0 for 2, 0 minutes 0 for 2 and 5 minutes over the previous 2 games. 25 points on 10 of 13 shooting with 5 threes tonight. Give him his flowers. Marcus Morris got the keys to Philly for a reason. He came to Cleveland, tried to instill toughness, bring his veteran leadership, and on the court tonight for the first time, getting big minutes for the first time since early in that Orlando series. He delivered 25 points, only missing 3 times. Give him his flowers. If this is the last we see of him in a Cavs uniform, Thank you, Marcus Morris. Your contributions do not go unnoticed. Cleveland loves you. You really, really came to play. You showed out. You did what you came here to do. Some of the other teams wrote you off. Clippers forgot about you. The Sixers traded you. You came to Cleveland. We didn't know what to expect late in the season. He scored 25 in a playoff game. You'll be remembered. Max Strus. The highs and the lows with this guy all season. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Max Strus in his first game as a Cav made 7 threes and had a double-double. He had the full court shot against Dallas. He had several heat checks. He had some days where he wasn't so good. He had some days where he was one of the best shooters in the world. And hard to say he was used properly because he really was not. I don't think he was used properly in Cleveland. Should have had him running off ball, running off screens, a lot of catch and shoots. He did not get enough shot attempts. Some of that's on him. I thought he moved well without the ball. I thought he was a very good rebounder, an extra playmaker, passer, finding the bigs. Please keep him. He's got 3 more years on his deal. No reason to move that. Max Strus, love you too. Heck of a season overall. You had your moments. You made your mark. Think you're just getting started. Isaac Okoro, we're going to find out a lot this summer. Where do the Cavs value you? Your defense was unbelievable all season. You didn't get too many friendly whistles in the playoffs. You became a bit of an offensive liability at times, but you also showed in some games you can make your threes. Hard to grade the whole thing out because some nights you're getting 30 minutes, some nights you're getting a short leash when the Cavs need more offense. Hope the Cavs keep you, Isaac Okoro, because you had some unbelievable moments over these last 4 years, and it's crazy that you've now been in Cleveland for that long. Dean Wade, just keep getting healthy. We know what you're capable of. 20-point fourth quarter against Boston. You did that as a starter when you first got to Cleveland. You were shooting it well, defending well. Just get healthy. You'll be back next season. Evan Mobley, 31, 7, and 4 with 2 blocks and 2 steals. Thought he was the player of the game for Cleveland. He did so much offensively, showed his bag, got to the rim, finished defensive possessions, couple steals, couple blocks, was guarding everybody out there. Evan Mobley was a 3rd overall pick for a reason. He was a DPOY runner-up last year. He missed too many games to be eligible this time around. But Evan Mobley, you finished the season on such a high note. Whether you're playing the 4 or the 5 next year, to me, it does not matter. You're one of the faces of this franchise. Really hope you come back and with that big contract and show the rest of the league why you're going to have your number in the rafters in Cleveland someday. Sam Merrill, Sam the man. Happy 28th birthday, Sammy. Hit 3 threes tonight in a game the Cavs didn't lose. He did finish with a positive net rating of +2. He played the majority of the second half. Thought he was very good on both ends of the floor. Would have loved a couple more shot attempts. It's unfortunate he couldn't get a couple more up, but looked good, played well. He was confident, and you can't ask for much more than that. He had some days where he didn't belong on the court in the playoffs. It's true, but when they needed somebody down LeVert, Allen, and Mitchell, he stepped up, and over the course of the season had some unbelievable shooting clinics. The Cavs gave him a 10-day last year from the Cleveland Charge. He was cut by the Kings in favor of Delly. Who knew what his future would bring? And he won a lot of games for the Cleveland Cavaliers this season. I'd call that a massive dub. Georges Niang, you had some really high highs. You had the 30-burger against the Bucks, some other shooting clinics, some clutch performances over the course. You had to start while the bigs were out in the middle of the season. Handled it all with grace. I'm actually a big fan of your podcast, Georges Niang, the bench seat. I do enjoy. I think it's something I should be going back to listen to once we have time to separate the Cavs and players that are struggling from others. But Georges Niang, man, wish you the best. Let's see if you're back. Hard to say what the Cavs choose to do. You didn't have the best playoff run, but you had some really nice moments for Cleveland this year. Georges Niang, thank you. Tough playoff run as mentioned. Tristan Thompson, how good it was to have you back. Wish you didn't have to take steroids, bro. Tristan Thompson, you did not need to take steroids, man, but you lost 25 games in the middle of the season where the Cavs probably could have used you, but it is what it is. Onwards we went. It's good to have you back after suspension. Good to have you in the locker room. You're a Cavs legend. You're going to have your number in the rafters. The TT experience was pretty surreal considering he didn't join a roster until the last 2 days of the regular season when he went to the Lakers last year. So with that in mind, seeing him back in Cleveland was pretty cool. It really was cool to see you back in Cleveland. So let's see what happens next year. To the guy that didn't play tonight, Jarrett Allen, man, we missed you. Hope your ribs heal up. you're an all-star in our minds. You should have made it this year. You played some really good defense. You threw down some dunks. You brought the physicality and toughness until Franz Wagner's elbow connected with your side and just said, no basketball for you. And it stinks. You were very much missed in the second round. The Cavs could have potentially taken Boston down if they had your size and Evan roaming. Because looking at how the defense was with who they had, imagine if they had another all-star caliber 7-footer next to the other one. Be a different league, different series, different game. But it is what it is. Damian Jones, thanks for the ride. But don't know if you're coming back. You did show out a couple times. You did get a dog chain this year. You're a vet. You brought professionalism. You could have used your toughness a little bit more on the glass at times, but you did no wrong. You were given some minutes, and you played what was asked of you. Caris LeVert, some nights you were Kobe, and some nights you were Svi Mihailu. Some nights, you were Michael Carter-Williams on the Bucks, and some nights you were LeBron James himself. I don't know how to grade your season. I don't even know what to say here, but Caris LeVert, thank you for being a Cleveland Cavalier. His contract is not up. He did sign the extension after last season, but let's see what happens with Caris. Could be a trade chip, salary questions, other decisions looming. You have to save money here and there, so let's see if he comes back. Hard to say, again, where he fits on a fully healthy team. Is he a sixth man, a seventh man, an eighth man? You had some fantastic moments while you were coming off the bench. I thought you were a sixth man of the year favorite at different stretches, but all things considered, thank you for what you did for Cleveland this year. Ty Jerome, thanks for the cardio for 2 weeks. Hope is it your wrist? Hope it feels better because you were gone the whole year. You're like that character who's in the pilot of a sitcom and then comes back for the last episode of the show, but we forgot you were ever in the pilot. So, yeah, Ty Jerome. Craig Porter Jr., only place to go is up. A healthy Craig certainly would have gotten minutes in these playoffs. His performances at the beginning of the season showed what he's capable of. Let's see what the Cavs do at the point guard position. Darius had his ups and downs. It's hard to justify how much they're paying him if he's going to play like this when they need him most. 4 of 17 in this, really did a disappearing act. He did a Houdini. Houdini probably does it better than anybody else because it's his act. The great Harry Houdini, Eric Weiss, as he's known. Darius Kennard-Garland did not show up. And if Craig Porter could have subbed in for some of those minutes today, I wonder what could have come of it. Darius was a minus 18 in this game, only sat 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Amani Bates, let's see what happens next season. You're going to get some run. I think he'll be back on a two-way. They did draft him in the second round. There is a high ceiling if he puts some muscle on this summer and works on some other parts of his game because the Cavs just needed shooting at times, and he certainly could have brought it. Pete Nance, great to have a Nance with the Cavs. And Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell. You were something special. You had the highest PER in the second round, man. You still never made a conference finals, but would love that first one to come in Cleveland next season. Donovan, you're awesome. Love having you in Cleveland. Been a fan of yours, as I know many, many people have since you're in Utah, since you're at Louisville, since you're back in New York, Connecticut, where you grew up, hooping at a high level. You played a game at my Division III alma mater school of 2,500 kids when you were at Brewster Academy. So we were in the same gym. I shot baskets on the same basket as you, Donovan Mitchell. And watching you in Cleveland these last 2 years has been special is the word. 70 burger, 50-point playoff game, put the team on your back time and time again, injured or not. You're something special. You're an all-world player. It's too bad you won't be all-NBA because of the games missed. But you were certainly, your presence was missed on the court. Cleveland agrees. The league agrees. The different last 2 games if you would have played. Donovan Mitchell is one of the best basketball players in the world, and we're lucky enough as a fan base in Cleveland, he wears our jersey. This fandom, he puts on for them every time he takes the court. Everything Donovan Mitchell does, he does to the fullest. So, Donovan Mitchell, thank you for this season. Hope you stay All signs would point toward him being happy. He's one of the most professionals we see in the league. Complains less than any other superstar if he's not getting his calls. Does not complain whatever he's tasked with doing on the court. If he's able to physically play, he will physically play. We miss seeing hashtag let him know this week. We miss seeing you on the court. But Donovan Mitchell, thank you for these last 2 years. Hope there's a third, a fourth, and a fifth. We'd love to see that 45 go up in the Raptors with Tristan's jersey and with Evan's jersey sometime in the next 10 years. Evan, longer than that. But Donovan Mitchell, superstar. Cleveland Cavaliers superstar Donovan Mitchell. It's unbelievable. JB Bickerstaff, it's been a love-hate all season and throughout your time in Cleveland. You got the Caps the second round this year. They hadn't done that without LeBron in 31 years. I think Lenny Wilkins may have still been at the helm the last time that happened. It's been a minute. It's been a long minute. But man, actually, it's correct. Yeah, it was Lenny Wilkins was the coach. Wayne Embry was the GM. The second round, they got swept by the Bulls in the 93 playoffs. This is their best season without LeBron since the 1993 playoffs. So it's special. It stinks that injuries cut it short. You only won one game in the series. You didn't get swept. You had a night where you put the league on notice. And JB, you did what no coach has done without LeBron in 30 years. And the coaches that won a playoff series in Cleveland since you would be Mike Brown, David Blatt, and Tyrone Lue. JB joins the list. He won his first ever road playoff game as a head coach. Took him long enough, but he got it. Let's see what your future is, JB Bickerstaff, whether it's in Cleveland or not. Personally speaking, wouldn't be angry if he was brought back next season, but the move might be to clean house a little bit with the coaching staff. Maybe you get something different. It's hard to say. A lot of people think he should go, and there's some people that think he should stay. Whatever they choose to do, not going to debate it because JB had his highs and lows, but he still got them to the second round while playing shorthanded. Doc Rivers didn't do that with the Bucks. Different story, different situation, but just saying, he did what Doc couldn't do. That's going to do it across the Cavs for the 2023-2024 NBA season. The Cleveland Cavaliers were eliminated by the Boston Celtics in 5 games. We'll see them at the draft at the end of June. To everyone that tuned in this season, that watched, that listened, that engaged, thank you. It's been special. Best fans in the world to talk to engage with. And I'm already looking forward to the Cavs getting in the news again so we can get right back on here and talk shop. So for the Cleveland Cavaliers 2024 season and for Across the Cavs, this is Zach Weiss with you saying thank you and so on.